And this is the story of how silence ruined everything I ever worked for. When people say, "Speak your truth," it sounds easy, until the truth becomes a fire that could burn everything you love. It all started the year I got promoted to executive assistant at Bright Path Logistics. For me, that job was more than an office. It was escape, survival, and pride rolled into one. I came from nothing. I had lost my mother early, and my father's small carpentry business couldn't even feed us all. So when I got that job in the city, I promised myself, no matter what happens, I won't go back to that village in shame. The office was always cold, air conditioner humming, keyboards clacking, people pretending to love their work. But I loved mine, at least I thought I did. My boss, Mr. Desmond, was the kind of man who smiled too easily and shouted too quickly. He was smart, ruthless, and everyone feared him, especially me. He used to say, "Amara, loyalty is better than competence. I don't care how skilled you are. Can I trust you to shut your mouth?" Back then, I laughed. I didn't understand what that meant, until the day everything changed. It was a rainy Thursday night. Everyone had gone home. Mr. Desmond asked me to stay behind to finish a few reports. I was typing away when I heard voices, sharp, angry voices from his office. I got up quietly and peeked through the glass door. He was arguing with Mr. Jonah, our accountant, the only man brave enough to question him. Jonah was saying something about missing company funds. Then it happened so fast. A push, a loud thud, a glass cup shattering, and silence. When I rushed in, Jonah was on the floor, not moving. Desmond turned to me, breathing hard, eyes wide. "Amara, listen to me," he said. "He slipped." "It was an accident. Do you hear me?" I froze. My heart was beating like a drum. "You're the only one who saw anything," he said. "If you say a word, I'll make sure you lose everything, your job, your career, your future." And that was the moment. I chose silence. Days passed. The company called it an accident. Jonah's wife cried at the funeral, holding his picture. I stood there among my colleagues, pretending to mourn, but my hands were trembling. My conscience screamed, "Say something," but fear whispered louder. Every time I saw Mr. Desmond, he smiled and said, "Remember, Amara, loyalty." But each night, I couldn't sleep. I started losing weight. Food tasted like guilt. Even laughter sounded like mockery. Sometimes I'd stare at the mirror and whisper, "Was it really worth it?" Keeping quiet just to keep a job. A few months later, a rumor spread. The company was under investigation for fraud. Officers came in, seized files, questioned staff, and suddenly Desmond disappeared. Guess who they came for next? Me? They said my name was on documents I never signed. They said I handled money I never touched. My silence had made me his accomplice. I cried. I begged. I tried to explain, but it was too late. I was arrested. That night in the police cell was the longest of my life. The walls smelled of fear and sweat. Women whispered their stories. Some were guilty, some just unlucky. Me? I was both. I wasn't in that cell because I killed anyone. I was there because I kept quiet while someone else did. When I was finally released, I had nothing. No job, no savings, no reputation. But I had truth. I went back to Jonah's family, confessed everything, and begged for forgiveness. She looked at me quietly and said, "You suffered enough. Let this be your second chance, but don't waste it." Now I work with a small NGO that helps whistleblowers, people like me who once kept quiet because of fear. Every time I speak to them, I tell my story. Silence doesn't protect you. It only delays the pain. Sometimes we think staying silent keeps us safe, but silence is like poison, slow, invisible, and deadly. If I could go back, I'd speak up that night, not because I'm brave, but because truth, no matter how dangerous, is the only thing that truly sets us free. This is my story, The Price of Silence. Don't make the same mistake I did.